In the heart of Okaro, a prosperous town surrounded by thick forests and rolling hills, lived a wealthy but restless man named Adigun. He was tall and broad-shouldered, with the strength of a lion and the cunning of a fox. He owned vast farmland, a thriving trade business, and a reputation that stretched beyond the borders of the kingdom. But despite his wealth and power, Adigun was unsatisfied. He longed for a woman who would understand his desires, one who wouldn't question his actions or demand loyalty. He had seen too many men struggle with wives who nagged and cried whenever they sought pleasure outside their homes. Adigun swore he would never be like them. One market day, Adigun set his eyes on a young woman named Omotara. She was unlike any woman who had ever seen. Her beauty was enchanting. Her voice was soft like the evening breeze, and her presence carried an air of mystery. Omotala was the daughter of a powerful herbalist known for his dealings with spirits and deities. Adigun approached her, confident and charming. "Omotala, will you be my wife?" he asked after only a few meetings. To his surprise, she smiled and said, "Yes, but on one condition." "What condition?" he asked, eager to hear her terms. "You are free to take as many women as you want. You may lie with them, love them, and bring them to our home if you wish. I will never question you," she said, her eyes holding a strange gleam. Adigun laughed, delighted. "Omotala, you are truly the perfect woman." Their marriage was grand, attended by kings, chiefs, and traders from distant lands. People envied Adigun, saying he was the luckiest man in Okaro. True to her word, Omotara never questioned her husband's action. Whenever he brings women home, she welcomed her warmly. If he disappears for days, she did not ask where he had been. The men in the village were jealous, and the women whispered that Omotara was too perfect to be real. But there was something unsettling about her. She never aged, never fell ill, and never showed sadness or anger. Even when Adigun's concubines disrespected her, she only smiled. Years passed, and Adigun's wealth grew, but his desires became insatiable. He took more lovers, indulging in every pleasure imaginable. But as time went on, strange things began to happen. First, his concubines started falling sick, one by one. They wasted away, their bodies shivering like dry leaves. Then his children from other women were born lifeless or with deformities. Some had twisted limbs, others had no eyes or mouth. Priests and diviners were summoned, but none could explain the cause of the strange occurrences. "Your home is cursed," the Ifa priest finally declared. "Your hands are stained with something unnatural." One night, after a heavy feast, Adigun retired to his chamber. He expected Omotala to be asleep, as she always was. But when he entered the room, he found her sitting upright, staring at him with glowing eyes. Her voice was soft but sharp like a blade. Husband, have you enjoyed yourself? Adigun laughed nervously. Of course, my love. Why do you ask? Omotara's smile widened unnaturally. Because your time is near. Before he could react, the room darkened, the air turned cold, and whispers filled the chamber. Voices not of the living, but of the dead. Adigun tried to move, but his body was frozen. From the shadows emerged the spirits of his dead concubines and children, their faces twisted in agony. You betrayed us, they whispered in unison. You thought you could take from us without consequences. Adigun screamed as unseen hands gripped his throat. Omotola, help me! But Omotola only watched, her form shifting and changing. Her once beautiful face twisted into something inhuman. Her eyes black as night, her skin turning dark and scaly like a serpent. You wanted a wife who would never question you, she whispered. You wanted freedom without consequences. Tears streamed down Adigo's face as he realized the truth. Who, what are you? Omotala leaned closer. I am the spirit of the forsaken, the woman who suffered at the hands of men like you. I gave you what you wanted, but every action has a price. The spirit dragged Adigun into the darkness, his screams echoing through the night. The next morning, his house was empty. The villagers whispered of his faith, but no one dared enter his compound. Some said he has fled. Others believed he had been taken by the gods. Only Omotola remained, her beauty unchanged. She continued to walk through the village, smiling as if nothing happened. But the wise one knew the truth. Omotola was never human. She was a spirit sent to teach men like Adigun that no desire comes without a cost. And so, the tale of Adigun became a warning for generations to come. Never take more than you can handle, and never think that a gift comes without a price. Thank you for watching. Do you want to click the subscription button? Drop right in the comment section if this story was interesting. And do not forget to turn on your notification bell just in case of any time I post any videos like this. You will always be notified. Stay tuned for the next story.